Hey guys, it's Luke. So yesterday my dad's 23andMe results came in, and so here are his results. And my results actually changed quite a bit too. So before I was only had 3.1% French and German, and now it's at the top of my list. And I also have a bit more Northwestern European. So now I have 18.4% French and German. And I think a lot of that was from the broadly Northwestern European. And getting your parent tested or your kid can help make the results more accurate. And then from 12.4% British and Irish to now 17.3%. Scandinavian stayed exactly the same. And then Southern European. So Iberian went from 15.7% to 17.9%. And then Italian went from 1.9% to 4.3%. And then the Balkan, the Sardinian went away, and then the broadly Southern European is now 5.7%, and then Ashkenazi from 1.1% to 1.6%. And then broadly European from 7.8 to 4.7. So as you can see, lots of these ones, the Iberian, the Italian, the French, and German, they got more. They got more percent added to it, while the broadly ones got less percent added to it. So yeah, and then East Asian and Native American from 16.1% to 16.4%. And then the Native American went from 13.1 to 15.1. And then the East Asian went from 0.2 to less than 0.1%. And then the broadly East Asian and Native American from 2.8% to 1.3%. I have kind of a good memory, so go check out my other ancestry video to see exactly what it was. Not the last video I posted, but the one before it. And then Sub-Saharan African. West African stayed the same at 0.8%, but in the Sub-Saharan African actually went up from 0.9% to 1%. And then I actually got some Central and South African 0.2% that I didn't have before. It was broadly Sub-Saharan African. And then the Middle Eastern and North African, it went down from 0.9% to 0.6%, and North African, it went up from 0.2% to 0.3%. The Middle Eastern, I'm actually really surprised about. It went way down from 0.7% to less than 0.1%. So, and broadly Middle Eastern, North African, 0.2%. And then I also got some South Asian. It's less than 0.1%, so I don't really know how to trust it, but maybe the British mingled with the Indians, like when Indian was a British colony, because remember the saying that the sun never sets on the British Empire. And then unassigned is 2.1%, so that actually went up from 1.9%, so yeah. And then my ancestry timeline, it changed a bit. As I said, go check out the video before the last one and then see what it used to be. I got 2.3% of my Northwestern European from him, so I got 0.9% French and German from him, which is really weird because on his results it said that he was not French and German at all, but it says I got 0.9% from him. Then I got 22% of my Southern European from him. Oh wait, and I got, 43.3% Northwestern European from my mom. So most of my French and German, all of my British and Irish, all of my Scandinavian, most of my broadly Northwest European. And then Southern European, never knew this, but my mom is actually, I got 3.7% of my Italian from my mom and only 0.7% from my dad. So, I got some Southern European from my mom, but it was mostly from my dad. So, I got Iberian 17.5%, and then Ashkenazi, Jewish, got all from my dad, none from my mom, and then broadly European, I got about equal amounts from both my parents. And then East Asian and Native American. My mom only had less than 0.1% Native American and less than 0.1% broadly East Asian and Native American. So it's safe to say that I got almost all of my East Asian and Native American from my dad. And I got all of my Sub-Saharan African from my dad, all of my Middle Eastern from my dad, all of my South Asian from my dad, and then most of my unassigned from my dad. And then my ancestry chromosome painting changed too. So the top chromosomes now, since I got my dad tested, the top chromosome is what I got from my mom, and the bottom is from my dad. So as you can see, the top ones are blue mostly to reflect European, and then the bottom chromosome of the pairs are just a whole flurry of different colors. And then what's cool is the confidence level changed. Is that the confidence level, so it used to be when I hit the 90% conservative, I had 50%, I had like 50-something% unassigned. So I don't know 50%, but I got a lot less unassigned now, since even if I went to 90% confidence level, because I got my dad tested, and it's actually over 90% sure now that I am West African, and it used to be between 80 and 90% sure that I was West African. And then I usually have it set to 50% because some people don't even know that this slider here is a thing, like, that exists. Okay, there we go. But so to get to the slider, first you just go to the ancestry composition, and then you scroll down, and then you click change confidence level. Like, you scroll down to your chromosome painting. And then now, let's go to share and compare. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then it'll load. And then TikTok. Sorry if it's taking so long, if I haven't edited this out, if I was just too lazy. You're comparing with my dad. Then let me, never mind. You share 47.6 of your DNA with Oscar, so my father. And then here is where I share the identical DNA in 23 overlapping segments. It says 22, it says down to 22, but there's a little split in chromosome 4. And then my dad, he got the ancestry only version of the 23andMe results, so his ancestry isn't available. Not his traits and wellness reports and that. So I share 11 ancestries with my dad, and then European, he has 50.6% European, so he's my Mexican parent. My mom is my white parent. So he's 50.6% European, 7% Northwestern European, 37% Southern European, 20.8% Iberian, 0.8% Italian, 1% Scandinavian. He is Scandinavian, 0.5% British and Irish. See, here's what, right here, right in the French and German part. 0.0% French and German, but it said that I got 0.9% French and German from him, so I don't know, maybe he didn't reflect in his 23andMe results, but it reflected in mine. And then Ashkenazi Jewish, 1.8%, Native American, 3.8%, and then his results actually changed because of me. So when you add a parent or a child in the system, your results change, and then it's slightly better to use a parent than a child, and it's slightly better to use 2 parents more than 1, but you'll get the majority of the benefit with the first relative you add. And I heard, and it doesn't matter, I looked all this up at the 23andMe website, and it doesn't matter how many kids you add. Once you add the first one, your 23andMe results don't change with each additional child you add, but they do change with each parent you add. And East Asian and Native American, East Asian, less than 0.1% for me, 0.6% for him, and then Yakut, which is Old Russian, I think, less than 0.1%. Yakut, and then I have 0, and then he has broadly East Asian, and then Sub-Saharan African. He is 3.3% West African, 0.2% Central and South African, 0.4% broadly Sub-Saharan African. So I got all of my Central and South African from him. And then Middle Eastern North African, he is 1% North African, I'm 0.3. Him and I are both less than 0.1% Middle Eastern, and then he's 0.8% broadly. And him and I are both less than 0.1% South Asian. And then the Oceanian part, like, which is Australian, Papua New Guinea, and Tonga, I actually showed up after the phasing. And the phasing usually takes about a day when your parent or child's results come in after yours. So, that's pretty cool. And he has a Native American maternal haplogroup, so my grandma's mom's. I call her Mamo, and it says I share a paternal haplogroup with my dad. So, yeah, obviously, because paternal haplogroups affect your father's very, very ancient ancestry. And then the Q, one branch, it'll say that Q is a Native American paternal haplogroup, but only one branch is predominantly Native American. The rest is Asian and Middle Eastern and Central Asian. Then I am more Neanderthal than my dad. I have 281 variants, more than 55% of 23andMe customers. He has 250